paperwork and falsify documents, underdeclare cost. That's not the way to do legitimate business. Please don't ask us to do this. As a local importer, you'll have to declare all your taxes and charges. That's no reason to be scared to go into business. We, Chinese Department Store, have helped many people grow their businesses, and we continue to help people grow their businesses. All the other importers do this. If they can make money, you can too. Let's look a little bit closer at the roles and responsibilities that will be taken on by you, the importer. There are many items to purchase and many different product lines that you can choose to import. These decisions are solely on you. At Chinese Department Store, we can help you by telling you what items we've been selling, what items other customers purchase and have a good response to. But at the end of the day, choosing products is the responsibility of you, the importer. When you're choosing the goods that you want to import, there's many things to consider. You have your market, you have your profitability, you have the quality of the product, and you have the legality of whether you're allowed to import those products or not. All goods are legally importable. That includes drugs and nuclear weapons. It's just whether you have the right licensing and whether you know the right people. This is not our department to investigate and find the answers. Your country or nation will have different rules and regulations to that of China. We export goods that we can obtain legally in China, and it's up to you, the importer, to find out the legalities about the products that you import. Let's talk a little bit about duties. Duties are payable by anybody that imports goods into their country through any shipping method. Duties are a very small percentage of the total cost that you've paid. If your country does not have an industry that involves the products that you're buying, the duties are very minimal and sometimes don't exist. If your country has a thriving industry and you're importing products that compete with that industry, it's usually the fact that the duties will increase, and that money is used by the government to subsidise the industry that you are competing against to make sure that that stays a healthy economic and viable industry for the nation. We don't address your goods to your country's customs office. All the goods are addressed to you. If your goods are stopped in customs, that's not something we can control, and it's solely the responsibility of the importer to go through the right channels to deal with. Some of the places you could get information for your customs is your nation's customs website. You could contact a customs broker in your locality and get all the information you're going to need. Let's talk about taxes. Everybody pays taxes, including you. This is something that all of your competition have to face, and it's a part of a business plan that should be factored into your costs. There's two types of taxes in most countries that I'm aware of. One is sales tax and one is income tax. Everybody pays income tax. Sales tax, which is known as GST, VAT. When you import goods, usually the government will charge you on the importation of the goods. If you're a registered and legitimate business, you can get that tax back. Then at the point of sale to your customer, you can charge the extra VAT or GST tax and then pay it forward to the government. Duties and taxes are something that we at Chinese Department Store have no control over in your location. It's the sole responsibility of you, the importer, to deal with and pay these extra charges. Let's talk a little bit about shipping. Sea freight, shipping in containers on boats, is the cheapest and safest method we've found through dealing with all our customers. When you're shipping by sea freight, you're shipping by volume, cubic meters, regardless of the shape and weight. We prefer to send full container shipments. If necessary, we're willing to send smaller shipments of a minimum of 2 cubic meters, depending on the product, to make it worth your while to go through the process of clearing your goods in your local customs, and also the time delay that it takes for sea freight. Although times vary from port to port around the world, it usually takes 30 to 40 days for shipments to go from Chinese customs to other nations around the world. When we ship in containers, we make sure to use quality packing material. We understand that bark and different types of soil and vegetation are not acceptable in most countries' customs around the world. Fumigation costs money, and that's an expense that we can help to minimise. We arrange insurance for all shipments to the port of their destination, meaning that your goods are insured until they reach your customs office and are unloaded. Once the goods hit the ground, it's your responsibility to organise further insurance. Talk to your customs broker about your options. Okay, I'll talk a little bit about the documentation for shipping. Once the vessel's been confirmed for your shipment, the shipping company will send to us the bill of lading. We'll then put that together with the declaration form, packing list, your invoice, and we'll express post it to your address. The bill of lading is a document provided by the shipping company that gives you the voyage number and the vessel name so that you can then use that document to collect your goods when it reaches customs. The declaration is a document that we sign and stamp, stating that there's no unwanted and unclean substances contained in your shipment. The packing list is an itemised document showing the number of boxes and the contents of those boxes in your shipment. We sign and stamp your invoice when we include it in the documents. The certificate of origin is a document that we're seldom asked for, although it's necessary for some countries that this document be included with shipments. We can supply certificates of origin at an extra cost, as they're only needed for a minority of shipments. If there are any other documents or certification that your government requires when you import products, it's up to you, the importer, to find out what they are and ask us about whether we can supply them or not. The charges that you're responsible to pay include wharfage fees, the fees for unloading your shipment from the boat to the wharf, transport on the wharf, port maintenance fees, and storage at the wharf facilities, and possibly other levies unique to your country. We also recommend the employment of a customs broker to handle all of the necessary documentation and paperwork for you. Another service that we offer at Chinese Department Store is to follow up and administer deals which you may already be in the process of making. Many of our clients have been to China or dealt with factories in China, but are now not in China to finish those deals. They need someone to trust and someone they can communicate with who's in China to follow those deals, do the money transactions, and make sure that the quality of their goods is what they're asking for. We can offer this service for 10% if there's 2 product lines per container. And as more product lines per container, the percentage will go up as there's more work involved for less money. So we can be your bridge to China. We have workers here who speak both Chinese and English very fluently and can communicate your needs to the factories, and you can communicate your needs to us. We don't only export from China, we also import many goods into China. We know a lot of people in industry here who are always looking for new materials to work with and even new finished produce to sell in the market here. If you're the owner of a company and you're looking for new export opportunity, China is a place of economic growth, and there are a lot of opportunities here that we can assist with as well.